of the warmest encounters in my priestly ministry find themselves surrounding gift and gratitude, the way that gifts are received in a different way than the way that a business deal is undertaken. I decided many years ago that I had enough money and that there is nothing that I'm willing to do for payment. And that anything that I'm willing to do for free. And so I'm very careful to give freely of the things that I do. And what this accomplishes, I hope that my gift is more than just my own, but in some ways, symbolically, an expression of God's gift and God's love. But then when I find myself inconvenienced, but willing at the hospital to anoint someone because somebody called for somebody who didn't know how to get a hold of a priest from across town, when I find myself sitting with a family who's mourning, or rejoicing with a family at a wedding, or enjoying the delights of a baptism, like all of these moments in which not only is there a gift, but also there's the grateful reception of that gift. And I think that at the heart of Christianity, we find that relationship primarily with God, but then in the ways that we live that out with each other, that everything God gives us is gift. We haven't earned it, not our salvation, not our lives, not our health, not our loves, like all of that is gift. And what we can do to be blessed by that gift is receive it. And there's no better way to receive than by being grateful. We're not good at gratitude. It's one of our greatest flaws, I believe, as human beings. And I'm relatively good at giving. I'm not always good at being grateful. But I was stung to the core once by a friend who told me the story. He's passed now. But as he got more and more sick and realized that he needed to rearrange his finances in order to ensure that his wife, who has outlived him, would be okay, he had to make some difficult changes. He was the first in his family who had any level of financial and business success. And so he was helping generously, monthly, many members of his family, siblings. He was helping them with a monthly check that supported their income, that had become part of their budget, that they'd come to expect. And he sat down with them to say, look, I can't do this anymore. I don't have any income coming in. I'm dying, and we have medical expenses, and I need to make sure that my wife has everything she needs after I die. And they got mad at him. They were angry because they were losing this gift, this incredibly generous gift. And he was hurt, so hurt, that what he thought he had done with generosity and kindness wasn't met with receptivity and gratitude. It was met with demands and pride. And I initially got angry with him, and then I realized how easy it is for us, the things, not that happen once, that we're so thankful for, but the things that keep happening, that we start to take for granted, that we start to think are due instead of a gift. And then we stop receiving them as a gift, and they stop blessing us. And I've reflected a lot on that in my life, and a lot this week as I look to the stories in the scriptures that speak of the arrogance, of the heavy-handedness, of those leaders who had taken their own and no longer had a relationship of gift and gratitude with God, who were keeping God's holy people from that relationship by piling burdens upon them. And Jesus, who only wanted to give, right? Everything that Jesus did was about giving something to someone. And we're invited first to receive, right? To receive that gift in gratitude. And whether that's the spiritual gifts, if it's life and love, if it's the concrete, specific things of my life that I've started to think that I earned, that they're mine, and if they disappear, I'm going to be mad. To go back and take a moment to think about the gifts and to be blessed by receiving them with gratitude. But we're also, I think, invited to become part of God's giving love and to make our relationships with each other, with our spouses, probably the hardest one, right? And with our children and with our parents, it gets a little easier. With our neighbors, our co-workers, to make our relationship as a parish community a relationship of gift given in love and received in gratitude. Because that has so much more blessing than any other way of relating to each other. And if we look honestly at the relationships that matter in our lives, the people that we love, that we're closest to, when do we get frustrated? When do we get angry? When we feel like we're being taken advantage of, when we feel like we're underappreciated, when our gifts aren't received with gratitude. And how much room, beyond just not doing horrible things, as my friend had to endure from his family members, and beyond the gratitude that we express from time to time when something new happens in that sweet spot of our relationships that are ongoing and the gifts that are ongoing, to find in my heart and in my expressions enough gratitude to receive these gifts well, and to build my most important relationships on gift and on gratitude for the gifts that I receive. And we can practice that with our kids and our spouses. But ultimately, if we aspire to any holiness, if religion means anything in our lives, it'll be at the core of our relationship with God.